Hey everyone, this is Adam Maynard here, back for another video, and I'm trying a little bit something different with this one in that I'm shooting it all in one take, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and I'm going with the first take I'm taking here today to try and prove a point, and that point is we don't let ourselves fumble through the conversations that we need to have with one another nearly enough. And what I mean by that is when we have something important to say with someone that we care about or someone that's important in our lives, we rarely give ourselves the opportunity these days to have that conversation face to face or if necessary over the phone, and let ourselves just kind of speak from the heart and let ourselves just kind of be guided through that conversation in the ways that are most natural to us, for a number of reasons. Maybe we don't trust ourselves, maybe we don't trust the other person to receive that information kindly, but really it comes down to, I think, not being able to really put our thoughts together and to trust that we'll be able to put our thoughts together in a way that sounds articulate, that comes across well, that gets our point across, that is kind of an acceptable way of conversing with someone else. We have a lot of preconceived notions and we have a lot of self-judgments about what it means to just speak off the cuff and to speak from the heart and to, most importantly, be vulnerable with those people in those important conversations. You know, whether it's meticulously drafting up an email that gets, kind of an itemized and perfect quote unquote list of all the things that we want to say in just the right order with just the right syntax and just the right word choice. Whether it's, kind of crafting out a long message via text or having an important conversation via text because we don't think that in the moment when kind of put on the spot to answer for ourselves or ask certain questions or speak certain truths, that we'll be able to do that in a kind of free-flowing way, we kind of put up a little bit of a wall or we take a little bit of distance. And, there's nothing inherently wrong about that. Let me start there. If that's the way that you feel most comfortable having those kinds of conversations for whatever reason, more power to you. I'm just trying to present this as an alternative or just something to think about the next time you have an important conversation that you're trying to get something across to a romantic partner, a friend, a close family member, that you don't have to hide anything, and that who you are showing up to that conversation with the skills and with the knowledge and with the heart that you have is a person who is worthy of love and kindness and attention in return. And you're actually doing a kindness to yourself by showing up to an arena like that, with kind of in an unassuming way, in a humble way, saying, maybe in a quiet voice, or maybe in a voice that stutters, or maybe in a voice that says a lot, or maybe in a way that, lets those awkward pauses linger and lets that tension build a little bit. These are really the moments and these are really the things that allow us to kind of revel in the glory and sometimes the muck of relationships. This is where all of the magic happens. This is where the struggle happens, when two people come together, when they speak from the heart, when they speak their truths, when they say what they really have to say, and they bear it all, and they don't kind of rely on this idea that they have to be perfect to get their needs met, to be cared about, to be loved, and that whoever you are and whatever you have to say and however you might have to say it in person, face to face with the people that you care about is, there's very much something to be said about that, and there's very much something to be said about allowing yourself to take that step and to take that plunge that may be a little scary, that may be a little uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, you're letting the other person see that. This is one of the last things I want to say. Showing up in person and being able to articulate, however articulately or not, what you have to say to another person allows them to see on your face and to hear in your voice the fact that you may be struggling with the enormity or with the intensity of what's gone on. And that's vital and valuable information that they can use to connect to what you're saying in a way that they wouldn't be able to necessarily if you're writing it in an email or sending a text or communicating in some other way that doesn't allow for those things to be given across the relationship table. So yes, there's something to be said about protecting yourself in whatever way you may need to, or that you may feel you need to. But the next time that you have something important to say to someone, consider saying it to their face, even if you have to fumble through it. So consider saying it to them over the phone so that they can hear the quiver in your voice, that they can hear the fact that you are, that this isn't easy and that this isn't necessarily effortless, and that but allowing yourself the grace and the humility and the understanding and the acceptance to show up anyway, and to be who you're going to be with the people that you care about, and know that that person is enough. So I've gone on now for probably a little bit longer than I expected, but that's the whole point. I probably took some twists and turns and repeated myself, and maybe probably didn't get everything across that I wanted to say when I first hit record on this video. But I'm okay with that, and I think that regardless, you've taken something away from this video. I've communicated the message, or most of the message, that I wanted you to hear without being completely perfect, and that's good enough for me. And I hope that that's good enough for you too. So take care in the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back here soon.